The Uyghur Forced Labor Protection Act. It's one of the newest ones, I guess, out there. And I don't know this stuff. This is Joe from Vigilant. He does. And how do you stay compliant with these acts?
Uyghur forced labor is a tough one, okay? Because one of the big things is cotton and forced labor. And other countries have been accused of using slave labor, for the lack of a better term, to mine the products or to get the products. So I'll share a little story with you. There was a shoe manufacturer that imported a container of tennis shoes, and the government went in and pulled one of the soles out of that shoe and snipped the cotton, and they do isotopic testing so they can determine where that cotton was grown from. And they went and said, oh, well, this is using forced labor from the Uyghur region, cotton, therefore they seized the whole shipment, and they were out of luck. The problem you run into is you think about that is this company didn't make the soles. They had another company make the soles who bought the company from cotton from yet another company. The whole idea behind your Forced Labor Protection Act, or the Uyghur Forced Labor, is it's no longer good enough to know your customer, KYC. Now you have to know your customer's customer and your customer's customer's customer, all the way back through. What you're looking at now is the government saying they want to increase that. They're looking at adding precious metals to that Forced Labor Act, not so much the Uyghur. Think about when they do that.
Electronics.
The electronics, because every board has a circuit on there, and that circuit's connected via gold connectors. If they add gold to that Forced Labor Protection Act, how are you going to trace that gold back to the mine that it was mined from?
Joe, let me ask you, how would they?
But that's the whole thing.
Wow.
We have access to some of the best tools in the industry that allows us to go back up to 10 levels. So we can go look at who you bought that shoe from, who the suppliers are to them, even the suppliers to your supplier. We can go do that 10 levels deep.
Now, is that something somebody would do up front to make sure who their supplier are, they're not going to get bit later on?
Well, that can be done up front, or it can be done, rather than being proactive, you can be reactive.
All right.
It's always better to be proactive with trade.
Sure.
So as you add new vendors, do that research on them. And you can do that, but again, if you're starting now, you're behind the line on that.
Yeah.
And that's where you need somebody to come in and run those levels. And that's the key, is how many levels deep you want to go, because it's a lot of research that needs to happen to find somebody that's part of the forced labor.
But you guys can do that research.
But that's what Vigilant does.
You've been doing it. So vigilantgts.com. Make sure to stop by, see more videos like this, and give Joe a call with any questions.